Today I have a special guest, my preferred lender, Katie Hughes with Caliber Loans. Today we are going to help you understand how much it costs to buy a house. Hello, I'm Jillian. I'm a licensed real estate agent in Indianapolis with Highgarden. If you haven't already, you're going to want to subscribe to my channel because I post videos every Thursday and I'm all about educating you about real estate and Indianapolis. I have with me Katie Hughes with Caliber Loans.
Hello.
Are there any other variables that lenders take into consideration for the pre-approval process?
Yes, thank you. So debt to income, credit score, the two big ones. We also look at a lot of different variables. Have you recently had a late payment on your student loan, credit card, but then rebounded so you still have a 700 credit score, but you had late payments recently? Where have you been working? Have you had the same job for a long time? Have you switched jobs 12 times in the last year? We look at your employment history. But I really tell people to budget for four things. So with your down payment, that 3.5%, that totally applies. There are down payment assistance programs. We just need to know that that's where your down payment is coming from.
May I ask a question?
Yeah.
Okay, so down payment assistant programs. Do you have to be a first-time home buyer to qualify for those?
You do not.
You don't. So who else could qualify for those?
Anyone.
What? And that's free money?
Mm-hmm. It is.
Free money? Okay, go on.
Well, I am going to say, just because it is free money, there are costs associated with it. It usually is really beneficial to get you in a home. It might not be the long-term most affordable option for you. So if you're someone who isn't a saver, it is a great option to get into a home. However, if you have your own down payment, sometimes it's actually a little cheaper long-term for you to bring your down payment.
Good to know. Okay, go
Anyway,
back into your four.
So my four things, so down payment, the second thing being closing costs. So closing costs are costs that are associated with myself as your lender, your appraisal that's part of the process, the title fees that are part of the process, recording. So that's kind of everybody when we talk about closing costs.
Now I'm going to interject here, one moment.
Okay.
We're talking about buyers buying a house right now. As a buyer, you do not pay a real estate commission. That's where I come in. So to hire a professional to guide you and protect you through this process doesn't cost you anything, but you're going to pay the loan person.
Yeah, so that is how that
That's
works.
part of the closing costs.
You're not paying on me, you're paying on
I apologize.
I just want to make that clear. So the closing costs usually range from $3,000 to $3,500. That's usually what I tell people to budget for. Technically, that can be negotiated in part of your purchase agreement, but is not a guarantee.
That's where your professional comes in, and we ask for closing costs for seller paid closing cost for the buyer.
Not a guarantee, has to be negotiated, but is, once again, we just need to know what your plan is for that section of money. The third thing is your escrow account. So an escrow account is just a fancy word for a savings account we set up to pay your property taxes and homeowners insurance for you. We want to make sure that those are kept current. So when you are buying a home, to set up that escrow account, we collect and pay a full year's worth of homeowners insurance and then also put a small cushion in there as well. That's usually around 1% of your purchase price. That's kind of a rule of thumb to use for budgeting. And then the fourth item is totally outside of me, but something that everyone is going to tell you to get, and that's your home inspection. That ranges from $350 to $600, depending on how many bells and whistles you want to put. If you didn't know, home inspections have bells and whistles, and if you want to go to all of them and put all of them on there, it'll be a little more expensive. I just tell people to budget for $500, so hopefully they're a little bit less than that.
Do you, as a lender, have any requirements for an inspection? I know that termites are very big in Indiana, and radon is another one. These are things that I often advise my buyers to check for because, again, I'm trying to protect them. Are there any requirements from the lender for those extras?
There's only a few variables that are required. So your VA loan, a termite inspection is required for us. If you happen to buy a manufactured home, there's structural obligations and inspections we require. And then if you buy a home on a well, there's some inspections that we require. But generally speaking, no.
Right. And as you probably have figured out, this is a very fluid process and it changes for everybody. There are variables that change per person because you could be dealing with one person, you could be dealing with a husband and wife situation. So that is why it's so important to get a professional like Katie or myself on your side. We work hand in hand together. We obviously have a relationship, and that is the benefit of working with either one of us. We have a network of professionals that we work with all of the time.
Yep.
All right. Thank you, Katie, for joining us.
Welcome. Thanks for having me.
And subscribe. We'll see you next week. Bye.